Do you need to be gluten-free for your hormonal and gut health? Going on a gluten-free diet has gained popularity over the last few years, but is it necessary for your health, including your hormones and your gut health? Well, this is what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Hi, it's Paul Tarth here, certified holistic nutritionist and lifestyle coach at Rawsome Healthy, helping you achieve a healthy weight, healthy hormones, and the body of your dreams naturally. Just before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press that bell notification to stay up to date with our latest videos. Now, when it comes to gluten, many people think you should only avoid gluten-containing foods if you suffer from what is called celiac disease. Now, celiac disease is an autoimmune disorder primarily affecting the small intestine, where individuals develop an intolerance to gluten present in such foods as wheat, rye and barley. Classic symptoms include gastrointestinal problems such as chronic diarrhea, abdominal pain, bloating, malabsorption, headaches, rashes, and also a loss of appetite. Even trace amounts of gluten, which for instance can contaminate another food which does not normally have gluten in it, can happen through the manufacturing process, and this can still then cause symptoms and health problems. Now, in addition to celiac disease, there is also what is called non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which is where you can have testing done, and the testing shows that you can be negative for celiac disease. Unfortunately, even with negative test results, you can still experience similar symptoms to someone who suffers with celiac disease, including things like abdominal pain, bloating and fatigue. So from this, we know that a person may still have a problem with gluten-containing foods even if their blood tests come back with a negative result. Of course, this can be problematic, and when you are suffering with symptoms like brain fog, stiff joints and even numbness in your arms, legs or fingers, you really want to get to the bottom of what is happening with your body and the reason or reasons why you're experiencing these symptoms. Now, I have a question for you. Do you still eat breads or foods that contain gluten, or perhaps you've removed gluten entirely from your diet? And if so, do you feel any better without it? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Now, one of the big questions that many people ask about gluten is why is it apparently such a big problem in today's world when compared to, say, just a few decades ago when it hardly seemed an issue? Well, food production methods have changed over the years, with, for example, breads being made differently than it would have been made in the past, and also the volume of gluten products that are now available and people are consuming much more of. In addition to this, the chemicals in the environment, like pesticides for example, have been linked to people having a higher risk of facing problems associated with gluten consumption. For example, with my own wife's health problems, Yulia, with her candida, thyroid including Hashimoto's, we learned that gluten was something that worked actively against her hormonal, gut and thyroid health, causing an immune reaction and actually damaging her thyroid and her health. This led to both of us actually starting a raw food, high food diet back in the summer of 2009, and since that time we have both been gluten-free. Does it mean Yulia has to avoid even trace amounts of gluten? Well, no, she doesn't have celiac disease, but we do know that gluten is not kind to the lining of your gut. A protein in the human gut called zonulin, which has the job of regulating intestinal permeability, can be negatively affected by gluten consumption and impair your gut lining, making it too permeable. This is also popularly known as a leaky gut. This is not a good thing, and if not properly digested foods, bacteria and other parasites are then going into your bloodstream, this then can lead to health problems including autoimmune conditions. So my advice to the clients that we work with is to avoid gluten in your diet, even if you don't have celiac disease or necessarily show symptoms of gluten sensitivity or intolerance, as we have talked about. Gluten is of course used in bread making, and many people enjoy having bread in their diet, but for myself and Yulia, taking bread out of our diets has not only benefited Yulia in particular because she no longer has gluten from the bread she was eating, which was damaging her thyroid due to Hashimoto's, but both of us have experienced better digestion, as bread can be a heavy food to digest. There are many other gluten-free foods you can have in your diet, and I know it was a great decision we made with our diet by going gluten-free. Replacing bread with fruits and vegetables was a very positive step for our digestion and overall health. And when you base your diet on fruit like we do, then you simply replace bread with foods like bananas, for example, which are a staple when eating a fruit-based diet. Whereas in the past I would eat toasted bread for breakfast and sandwiches for lunch, I now instead eat lots of fruit. Not only do I avoid the gluten and the heavy to digest bread, I'm getting lots more fibre and water and other great plant foods and nutrition, including lots of antioxidants that help keep your body healthier, including a well-balanced omega-6 and 3 intake. In our experience, if you make sure to eat enough calories from these healthy foods like fruits and other whole plant foods, then any cravings for bread will simply disappear. Now, if you want to change your eating plan to one that is a health-promoting, low-fat, high-carbohydrate, whole plant foods one that doesn't restrict your healthy fruit intake and which we ourselves have been following the last 12 plus years, then I would like to invite you to our free online masterclass where you can learn the 5 steps that our clients use to balance their hormones naturally, lose between 10 and 50 pounds of excess weight without carbohydrate restriction, and achieve the body of their dreams. So the link for that is rawesomehealthy.com/webinar. Now I'm going to link this video to another video where Yulia talks about how she reversed her Hashimoto's through dietary and lifestyle changes. Thanks for watching.